Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video, I want to talk about the flat earth theory and what I've seen that theory do for the truth seeking community since it became popular this past summer, the summer of 2015. To date, this is the first video I've made talking about the flat earth theory, and that's not by coincidence. It's because since it has arrived, I've seen how divisive it has been and how many fights it has caused, needlessly. Before I go on, let me establish what I mean when I say truth-seeking community. That is the group of people who see the real problems of the day and are working hard to find answers and solutions and awake other people to these problems. They include things such as the lies told on September 11th and the corresponding propaganda that's gone on worldwide in relation, such as the Madrid train bombings, the UK bombings, the Paris bombings, the Jakarta bombings, the Tunisia bombings, etc. This ongoing propaganda in the media is one of the most dangerous things to the existence of the people of this planet right now. We are being led on a path of perpetual war based on perpetual lies. People are needlessly dying. Our youth are needlessly being sent off for illegal wars of aggression. At the same time, liberties are being lost in countries and surveillance states are being built so that the people can be tracked and monitored. In addition to that, we're living at an age where the planet is being torn up for consumption. More and more pollution, more and more contamination, more and more chemicals. On a related note, here in the United States and in some other countries, Congress is passing laws to hide what is in our food. Mega food conglomerates that dominate modern agriculture are using chemicals in foods that they're having congressmen write legislation so that those chemicals can be hidden from the consumers. Here in the United States, we are not to know what some of the things are in our food. And this is going on at a time where we're seeing disease and illness and death rise in children, from SIDS to allergies such as peanut allergies to autism and so much more. The people seeking these answers and solutions, they're the people in the truth community. There's many other important problems. We live in a world where more prisons are built than schools. Just think about that. A very depressing statistic, something that's been true for decades. There are people out there speaking about these things and trying to provide solutions. They're part of the truth-seeking community. My point is there's very real problems. Problems that present a real threat to the people living, to the young children, and to the unborn generations. And we live at a moment where more people need to wake, and they need to wake quickly so that we can stop what's being done. If we don't stop what's being done, it will get to a point where it's irreversible. And some people would say that point's already come. I don't agree with that. I think there's still plenty of time to fight back. But with each passing day, I know we're that much further in the hole. And anyhow, as someone who has spoken out about these matters since 2001, I know what a difficult task it can be. You know, for speaking truth to power, you're demonized by most in this world, sadly. And the reason for that is the way people are programmed by this illegitimate media, by these illegitimate tyrants that rule over us and who have convinced the people of the world to deny truth and to go along with propaganda. Anyhow, since 2001, I've slowly watched more and more people wake up. And in the last few years, there has been a greater awakening, you could say, in the masses. More and more people are waking up rapidly, and the evidence is in all the comments that you see on channels such as mine. All sorts of people saying they've finally woken up recently. And part of the reason that is happening is because people are being bombarded with more and more lies and more deceit. There's a tipping point in everybody. Anyhow, at this very crucial moment, when more people are waking up to the real problems of the day, out of nowhere has emerged this flat earth theory. And the problem with the flat earth theory is that the people who are promoting it promote it in a divisive way, and in a demeaning way, and an insulting way. So, with that said, let's read this sign that's been on the screen. This is a billboard from Zion City, a town outside of Chicago, Illinois, that for many years was a flat earth stronghold in the time that the globe model was being promoted in mainstream education. Notice what the sign says. No one except a low-down scoundrel, a person lower than the dirtiest dog, yes, lower down than a skunk, would call the earth a globe in Zion City. The way that message is expressed is the same way the flat earth community of the present expresses their feelings about the earth being flat. And I've watched a lot of people get wrapped up in this flat earth theory and quickly become insulting towards people who disagree with them, including myself. Again, I've tried to maintain a neutral tone. I've tried to be open minded. I've been accepting, but I've also expressed that I don't agree with the findings that are being presented by this flat earth movement. To me, the science, the reasoning, the logic, it doesn't add up, which we'll talk about more. But in saying that, I don't mean to put down anyone who's convinced the earth is flat. To me, it's okay if you think the earth is flat as long as you're invested in working together to solve these other problems that are very real and are upon all of us. Ultimately, if the world is flat and this flat earth community proves it, it's a limited topic. Proving the earth is flat isn't going to get justice for the lies of 9/11. It isn't going to get justice for the illegal wars. It isn't going to change the fact that we're over consuming and destroying the planet. It's not going to change the quality of food and the chemicals that are being put in it and hidden from us. All of these things are a lot more important. It's about priorities. I agree, though, lies all need to be exposed and truth must be brought to the forefront. But the flat earth community is making claims that they cannot support and that they have not proven. With regards to this being in Zion City, I often talk about Zionism, the ruling force of so many governments, including the United States, and the media, and how the Zionists are actively working to divide and conquer people over more and more things. And I was talking about this before this flat earth theory showed up. But ever since it's shown up, it's been another shining example of what I talk about with divide and conquer tactics and how they're waged against we the people. If you're not aware, Zionism is a belief system that essentially Jews are superior, they are God's chosen people, and the Zionists believe that there should be a Jewish state, which goes against the Torah, the Jewish holy book. So even in the Jewish faith, there is a divide. There are Orthodox Jews who are opposed to Zionism. I'm not speaking out against all of Judaism. Notice that the Zionist state was first established by the United Nations on November 29th, 1947, by a 33-member vote. November 29th is the 333rd day of the year, and notice the year 47. The numbers 33, 47, 74 are very important to the Masons and Zionists, and they're coded into a lot of their divisive tactics. What I notice about flat earth theory is it shares the gematria of 74 like Masonic, like Jewish. Revelation 7:4 talks about the tribes of Israel. In Revelation, the final book of the Bible, it talks about how the false Jews will rule in the end times, and the Orthodox Jews will tell you that the Zionist Jews are them. These people have built this world around us. Language, scientific understanding, spiritual understanding. It is a massive topic, but I just want you to understand that these numbers are numbers of significance. Authority, obey, judge, gavel, Christian, mafia, all words with 47 gematria, and not by coincidence. Notice also that science and Christianity have gematria of 155, and in this world, so often people are pitted against each other over their spirituality and their scientific beliefs, which is something that shouldn't be so. You know, people should be invested in trying to understand the truth of this world, which involves science and spirituality. With regards to the Zionist state being recognized by a 33-member vote by the United Nations on the 333rd day of the year, the symbol of the United Nations is the flat earth broken up into 33 parts, 8 sections of 4 with a middle circle, meaning 33 segments. And if you're not aware, the people promoting the flat earth theory are saying that the United Nations is hiding the truth in front of our face. This is the real map of the world we live on. It's a flat, it's not a sphere. And what they're saying is this outer edge is an ice wall that surrounds the earth, holding in the water. With that in mind, let me just point out the things that I often say when people are really trying to force the flat earth theory down my throat. And it happens almost every day. And I take the time to listen to these people and respond. And for being polite and giving them my feedback, I'm often demonized. Videos have even been made about me saying that I deny the flat earth theory, that I'm a Satanist. All these false accusations based on, just me being a person expressing what I think. Anyhow, if the world is circled by an ice wall, it seems to me that in the year 2016, we should have met a pilot or a sailor who has revealed this to us. As far as I know, that's never happened. It also would make me think that pilots would be able to fly over the ice wall and escape the Earth. Some people are saying there's a glass dome encompassing us, kind of like a stadium, like the world Truman Burbank lives in The Truman Show. But anyhow, the ice wall aside, the flat earth theory does not explain seasons. It doesn't explain the way constellations change. It doesn't explain the differences in hemisphere, how different hemispheres are experiencing different seasons, seeing different constellations. It doesn't explain the Coriolis effect, and if you listen to these flat earth channels, they're pretty much all dismissing the Coriolis effect, saying it's not real. It's a misconception. It doesn't explain time zones or the way light operates through the different seasons. Here with my mouse, I'm going to pretend this is the sun. There are videos in the flat earth community showing a yellow ball traveling around, and they're explaining that the sun's like a lamp. Its light only goes so far. That's why certain regions are lit while others are in darkness. That is not the way light is explained in science. That's not the way light operates. Light travels in a straight line, and essentially the sun's light has unlimited reach. Now, people in the flat earth theory say that we're just being taught false information. That's not how it really works. But based on these models of a lamp moving around that only lights so much, think about the times a year where Alaska is essentially lit all day. How do you explain that with the flat earth model? If the lamp only reaches so far and it's keeping Alaska and these northern hemisphere regions lit all day, how are other places experiencing light at the same time, There's so many questions with these flat earth research and presentations that I don't know how anyone is just jumping on board and saying, "Oh yes, this is correct. The earth's obviously flat." The flat earth theory, it's also saying that planets aren't real. We know that something moves through the constellations that only comes through at certain times. They're not stars, they're something else. So if they're not planets, what are they? What I see the flat earth theory doing is just dismissing the scientific knowledge, the world understanding that has been with humans for thousands of years.